Hello, my name is Andrew WK, and this is a public service announcement to remind you that you're partying very hard right now on Thought Cops.
Woo, woo. Ooh, welcome to Thought Cops, coming to you live from the mean streets of Neo Chicago. I am Officer Kevin.
And I'm Officer Grant. Hey, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and smash the notification button.
Bong.
That's what I should be saying after you say mine. I should be saying, because apparently if you don't say that, people don't do it.
They're like what? I'm on a YouTube video, but I don't know that I can do that unless somebody tells me to 15 times.
Yeah, they do studies on it, and studies have proven that if you say, subscribe, people go, no, I will. Yeah, okay, totally.
Yeah. Zwick put like 17 graphics of like a subscription button being clicked on and then a bell being dinged.
He won't.
Over and over.
He won't.
Well, he could.
He won't.
Zwick, come on, man.
What's
up, Grant? How are you doing?
I'm doing.
We are, people are watching this are probably thinking like, where in Sam Hill are these guys at?
Where in the world is the Thought Cops? Yeah, this is a new place. This is a new apartment. We're at a kitchen table, which is a lot better than a breakfast bar to do a podcast.
I just thought of something kind of funny. Can I say it?
Yeah.
New apartment. Who dis?
That is funny. Sitting at those fucking stools and sort of like wedging your way in.
I know.
We did it for, I guess, less than 2 years.
Still
because
a
for a
long
while
time.
we didn't even have the stools and we were just on that couch.
Yeah.
And that was way worse. And then
We're slouching.
That
it was
looked
unprofessional.
better. But then this both looks and I think feels better. We don't have the TV flickering behind us.
That's fine.
And we'll get some lights, or we'll try and do something without desecrating a little more expensive of an apartment.
Yeah. Well, if you guys want to donate on patreon.com/thoughtcops, all the money will be going to Grant's Funko Fund. It means he's going to be filling up the entire apartment with walls and bookshelves of Funko Pops.
There's not much room here, but
well, we can build out. We can maybe like do a kind of cave the wall in,
tape them to the wall.
Doesn't matter as long as they're there.
Yeah, on Patreon, the $2 tier, we got Oppenheimer. We just reviewed.
Yeah. I just saw Barbie.
You just saw Barbie, so we can review Barbie soon.
Yeah.
And we'll have the Oppenheimer totally reviewed.
Thought Cops last
totality.
word.
Yeah.
No one can talk about it on the internet anymore until we have our final say on Barbenheimer.
Right. And so keep an eye out for the $2 for the bonus episodes. We also have the $5 tier. I don't remember what we're doing with that
We're
now.
revamping it. I mean, hey, $5, like I said, Funko Fund, or maybe gear and equipment.
We appreciate any level of support anyone wants to give us while we work through these times. These times of economic unsurety.
Are these still unprecedented times?
Every day is unprecedented.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we were like over that yet.
No.
Okay,
that's just the future.
I mean, things, they feel unprecedented, but like on a general grand scale, the virus is done, right, guys? Oh, we'll get to that.
Actually, we will get to that. So I don't. Do you want to move on to what do you want to do? What do you want to talk about?
Let's see. Like you said, I enjoy the back support. You don't have to be doing the splits the entire time.
Yeah, well, the splits were terrible. I didn't want to necessarily talk about the table the whole time.
Though.
It is a nice table. My 2 minutes of hate is West Elm customer support.
But you talked to West Elm Caleb? Just kidding. I made the same joke before the recording.
That's good.
That's why he's not laughing.
It's a good joke.
He laughed really hard the first time I said it. Now he's not laughing.
Yeah, that's actually why we started late, is because I was laughing for a full half hour.
Couldn't breathe.
But no, one of these chairs, this expensive table, these expensive chairs, one of the knobs on the bottom either was not there or came off, and we got them 2 days ago, and it scratched up the floors. And so we called and we're like, hey, what are you going to do about this? And they're like, we'll give you a new chair in 6 to 8 weeks. And we were like, yeah, but what do you do about you cause damage? The loss of money, loss of livelihood from my scratched up floor. I got to walk to Home Depot and spend $2.75 on a oak colored pencil.
It's pretty cool that exists, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because of people like you, West Elm. So that's my 2 minutes of hate.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to spend all of this episode talking about furniture.
We could, though. Again, we easily could, but we're not. We're not. I have. Are we still doing punishments for 2 minutes of hate, or are we just?
Whatever.
Venting?
Just go off, King. It doesn't matter.
I guess we're just venting. My 2 minutes of hate this week is this trend that I've noticed online, because you know what? We don't have a guest this week. We don't have anything to promote or talk about or interview somebody. So we're going to be doing Classico. This is going to be a little bit of a throwback to season 1, where we complain and whine and bitch about stuff, which we still do, but now I'm doing it even more.
Well, I feel like the guest episodes, we don't got to do that so much. When we have a guest on that is coming here to promote what they're working on, we can talk to them about what they're working on.
Yeah.
And then they don't have to hear me go, oh, when my phone doesn't work. That'll just be the 2-person episodes, or if we have Brandon Kirkman on and he wants to do a 2 minutes of hate, that type of thing. We have Aaron Klopfer on. We have some of the classics, some of the known locals and favorites that everybody loves.
I did feel kind of bad last time because Max actually did have one, and he's like at the end, I'm like, oh, quick, we're wrapping up the episode. He's like, wait, I had something to say, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess you could.
We wanted to talk to him about his video game, and we did. So you can listen to that.
Yeah,
you can subscribe.
Ding
for once.
Hit the button down below.
What are you talking? What's the?
I think it's still below.
Do you have 2 minutes of hate?
Yeah, I do have a 2 minutes of hate. My 2 minutes of hate is an annoying little trend that I've seen on the internet, where people take photos in a movie theater while they're playing a game or watching something on their phone. Like the example I had here was somebody. I saw a picture of somebody with their Switch during Oppenheimer, because Pikmin 4. Well, the joke was that, not only did Barbie and Oppenheimer come out on the same day, but Pikmin 4 also did. So somebody brought their Switch to a screening of Oppenheimer and was playing Pikmin 4 in the theater, full brightness. And then they had presumably somebody take a picture of that. And then just a tweet caption like, "This Oppenheimer shit boring AF." And, I've also seen it, like, I saw somebody, like, watching Family Guy on their phone, and somebody took a picture of them.
That's so funny. Like, I love the idea of bothering people around you in the public space that we all inhabit. That we're all kind of, like, getting annoyed with each other kind of a lot more recently. And I love that people are just like, hey, I got to make content. I got to get 5 likes on X.
That's where it's at. It's a place to be. X. No, I just I can't stand. There you go. Zwick, use that for the thumbnail. Don't actually do that.
Yeah,
that's
please
horrible.
don't. That's probably some sort of symbol.
We're doing the cross. That's what they do in Japan when they want to say like don't enter. Cross. So that is like some annoying trend. I can't stand it, and I feel like people are like, "Oh, you're such a hypocrite. Don't you like Mega 64 videos where they go out in public and annoy people in costume?" I feel like there's more artistic integrity to that kind of thing.
Man, they're also not they're doing that in like a public park, not in like a movie theater.
Yeah, like you pay for like I guess
they did that in a movie theater, I would be like, that's not cool, guys.
Yeah, everybody's here paying for something that I think people would turn on them a little bit, which again they haven't done yet. But yeah, it's just this whole idea, and I guess it's like whenever I see that stuff, I just like I can't get it out of my head about like being the guy in the row as them in the movie theater. Like, what the fuck are you doing, you clout chasing moron? Like, just like thinking about like I paid to watch a movie, and I know I sound old as fuck because these are probably like 19-year-olds who are like doing this for like Boku likes on X, and it's just so fucking like cringy to me just to think of, because it's like when you see the post, maybe you just like see it as like in a vacuum, like, oh, this is a funny image to me. This is like, it's fun, oh, the very idea that somebody would be watching Family Guy funny moments in a movie theater while there's a movie playing is so funny to me. But also, and I know I've mentioned this on the show a few times, I think, but this really happens. Like one of our friends in real life, I guess we could just say, or one of our friends, was telling me when he saw the Batman in theaters, somebody was like watching Stranger Things on an iPad in the row in front of him at full brightness the entire movie, and they weren't even posting it. They weren't even getting a laugh out of it. They were just watching Stranger Things,
man,
in a movie theater, and they pay to see another movie. You're not paying attention to either one.
I am not one of these people that yells at people in a movie theater, especially lately, because it's like, I'm assuming here's how this happens. I'm watching Batman and someone in front of me is watching Stranger Things, and I say, hey, turn that off. And now what I'm assuming happens is they turn around and shoot me.
Yeah, he's got Joker hair. Oh boy.
Yeah, because one, that's happened already. Yeah. Like that didn't happen in that way, but that's just a thing that like happens. Like that could just be a thing that reasonably happens, is you're like, hey, shut up, stop talking during the movie, and someone turns around and shoots you. And I don't want that. I don't want to get shot.
No, that would suck.
But also, like, I think what is happening is that people are going, I really want, because I think everyone's starting to notice that being in public is either way worse than it used to be, or because we were all locked up for however long and we've had to live with COVID afterwards and wearing masks and being in public and spacing out and whatever, that we're a lot less tolerant to it. And they're writing like articles about it. And it's funny because when you read like an article about it, you scroll down and people are like, I haven't noticed a difference. Everything's fine to me. I had a perfectly good time at the movies. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would you have an entire podcast about this? You know, that sort of thing. They're commenting that.
Weird comments.
But I think that the normal people that exist in like reality, I think that they're seeing this type of behavior happening. Their urge is to say, hey, could you put that away, please? And the fear is, I don't want to get shot. And so what I think most people are doing now is they're going, I just won't go outside anymore. I just won't go anywhere. I just don't have to leave my house. Like,
safer.
I can just stream movies on my TV. I can work from home. Fuck it. I like being in public fucking sucks lately. It just fucking does.
It's just like, and even, and I feel like I sound so old complaining about this stuff, but even like just dealing with like retail workers, everybody is so rude. Like I went to a bookstore with my girlfriend like a little while ago, and like, you know, she's nice and she's like, oh, hey, like have a nice day. And the guy just, you know, just like stares at her like blankly, doesn't even say thanks, staring.
Dude, I've
sorry for coming in here. It's like I'm not asking you to kiss our asses or kiss our feet or anything, but it's like we also don't have to like go out of our way to like whatever. But it's like I'm not even saying you have to do that, but it's just a nice like even a fucking smile.
I think
give me a smile. Oh no!
I do.
To be fair, this was like a 28-year-old man. Okay, I wasn't harassing young women at the
Hey toots. No, nothing like that. I get what you're saying. It does sound old, but at the same time, I do get what you're saying, and I think here's what I've been doing lately is, when I go into public, and especially when I have to deal with retailers and customer service workers, whatever, I say that and I don't expect it back. But I know when I worked those types of jobs, when people would be nice to me, and especially if I was just like in a shitty, the boss yells at you, he's walking down the hallway, he kicks you, you know, sort of that thing.
Ouch!
And you're sitting there and you're like, God, I got all this coffee I have to make, and I don't have enough time to make it, and I have to sit here and listen to you fucking, you know, fuck up your order for a fucking frappuccino or whatever. And someone would say like, hey, have a nice day. And I would at least go, like you got to do something. You got to,
a little head nod.
Just you're in public. You do a head nod. Like you don't always have to go, oh, thanks. You too. Oh, wow. Thank you. Like, you don't have to do that. But like, I think the acknowledgement of like that we're not living in like a solipsistic like simulation of where I'm the only person. I pop in my headphones and I walk to the store and I get everything I need and I self-checkout and I leave the store and I just don't interact with anybody ever makes me feel insane all the time, like I'm disassociating. And I have to do a little bit of just like, I make a sound or I talk to someone or I do something, because without that, I feel like I'm living in a video game and I hate it.
Yeah, and I think that's like when I do have like public encounters with people, I feel like, I feel very rusty and like inexperienced too. But it's like I have worked retail jobs, I have worked food service, and I was oftentimes, very grumpy working at those jobs.
I've had bosses literally tell me, Grant, you need to smile more. Literally, like you're joking about it, but I have literally had that experience.
I just don't want to become that guy. That's all I'm afraid of. But no, I think
nobody does. But like, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just like I had to change my router out because I was having internet issues at home, and I had to bring it into the Xfinity store because that's a whole 2 minutes of hate on its own, because fucking customer service, especially for Comcast Xfinity, I feel like this is just bitching about like
corporations.
You had your West Elm, and it
sucks and it's getting worse.
It's just like it is the worst fucking experience you could possibly have.
Dude, customer service in general lately, especially
it's a nightmare. And I worked customer service for so long too, and I know I can tell when you don't give a fuck.
Right.
And you're actively being lazy and you're actively being rude. Because I did that sometimes too, but I tried not to, and I usually didn't do it.
Especially like I feel like a lot of companies now, just everything is online, and it's just. And to be fair, I think that there's a purpose for this, because boomers don't understand how to like turn on computers. Yeah. And so like they're trying to get ahead of that by saying like, hey, here's a frequently asked question. Like, you have a problem, click this button. You have a different problem, click this button. Like, keep clicking buttons and you figure it out. I kind of get that a little bit. But it's also like, some of these companies don't have any customer support whatsoever, and they rely completely on the internet, and maybe one guy is like on a computer like at this company like dealing with these things, but like they don't have customer support staff at all. Like, there's no people answering phones, there's nobody like, even like sometimes when that little thing pops up in the corner of your screen and they're like, hi, I'm Alan from customer service, that's a fucking robot. Like, people don't exist and they can't solve your problems. And then it just makes it worse, because then you like get on the phone with someone for customer service and then people just start screaming at them. And it's like, probably because that's just the first person that they've gotten to interact with so far.
I get that. Like I worked again, customer service, and I've had, oh my God, it's like a 50-minute wait. I mean, the second I pick up the phone, it's so busy, and I know I'm about to get screamed at.
I think it's in these companies' best interest to make customers angry and to make you a disgruntled employee. Like, I think that it's built in. I think it's part of the design, but
it's just like, it's also impossible to talk to somebody, because like, especially with Comcast Xfinity, you have to go through all these prompts, and I keep going, speak to an agent, speak to a representative, speak to someone, and like, let's try that again. Are you having problems with billing or internet? And it's just like, speak to an agent, because it's like, I have to talk to somebody about this.
Right.
It's so annoying. So I went to the store to return my router, and I'm also asking them, because like, I've been waiting. We're going to get fiber soon. Fiber internet is coming soon. Do you guys have fiber here, by the way?
I don't know. I think maybe. I don't know.
Because like
I talked to a guy on a phone who gave me like a half-hour spiel about he just like.
Who do you have?
RCN.
Okay, maybe we should switch to them.
They're only in certain areas, so I don't know.
I think we might have them where I live, because I know I was like trying to do AT&T, and this is whatever. I'm getting in the weeds here, but so I had to bring it into the store, and like, because they kept saying for years, I've had this company for years, because for a long time they were the only option, and it was like, oh yeah, fiber should be out like maybe like next month or the month after. And then I'm like, oh, by the way, are we still going to be getting fiber? And he's like, oh, we're not going to offer that. We don't offer that. Like, oh, you're not planning to? He's like, no, we don't support fiber. Yeah, it's like, why have you been telling me for years that it's coming soon? And also like, he had this like, almost like he was trying not to laugh as he was telling me. I'm like, and like other people were just like standing there behind him, like smiling, and they weren't busy. They were just like standing there, just watching. Yeah. And I'm like, I feel like I walked into a fucking like crazy, silly mirror house, and I'm on display.
I think a lot of times, well, I don't know the politics of fiber. Hello? I don't know the politics of fiber internet. I think that sometimes it has to do with like the city municipality and like running the wires under the ground and shit like that. And
I know it's a whole thing, but like
I also think like again like internet in America is a lot worse than internet in a lot of other countries, and a lot of times all it takes is like for the country to be like, hey, we're just doing fiber internet everywhere, like we're just installing this infrastructure, it's for the good of everybody, we're all on the internet now. You can't apply for a job without being online. You can't apply for fucking like food stamps without the internet. Like you need the internet for basically everything. It's a necessary evil at this point. The whole thing of like, oh, you see a homeless person, they have a phone. It's like, yeah, because like they can't do anything without a fucking phone. Like everyone needs a phone. Everyone needs a computer. Everyone needs like access to the fucking internet because it's the information superhighway. It's the tubes that I get everything from, you know?
Yeah, and I think like it just feels like my building is like the only one in my neighborhood that seemingly doesn't fucking have fiber yet. So I don't even know how good it is.
And sometimes like the buildings themselves, like the landlords and shit will be like splitting cables and doing like all sorts of nefarious shit. Like,
I believe it.
I think that they did that at my first place that I lived at, the Crack Den. I think that like they were splitting our internet to like the other like rooms, and so it's like you get half service.
Would not surprise me.
Yeah, so like I don't know. There's all sorts of fucky shit, and again, like nobody to enforce any sort of common sense regulatory system.
Guess we better take it into our own hands.
No, don't.
I meant by being firm and assertive with my words.
By any means necessary.
Yeah. Anyway, my punishment, I do have a punishment for people,
go ahead.
For people who bring your phone or your Switch into a movie to take a viral post. You should smile more.
Yeah. Smile. You're on fucking candid camera, bitch.
I should start doing.
You don't know what that is, but you're about to.
If I ever see someone do this like in public, I will take a picture of them like or a video of like so you can see how stupid you look and how cringy this is from the outside. And I'm just going to post that and be like, hey, look, I saw these two idiots taking a viral photo of like Family Guy during Oppenheimer.
Right.
Whatever.
I have another segment.
Oh.
I don't know exactly how I want to do this.
This is a bit unprecedented.
I don't know what this is called. This is called just like, hey, here, look at this. Check this thing out. Because
it could just be called that.
Because I don't know what else to call it. Let me pause this. I don't want to ruin. Don't look.
Oh, okay.
Don't look. This is very important. This is top secret.
Okay.
But
close my eyes.
I discovered this. I don't remember how. I'll paint a picture for you. Here's what I want is here. I want to play this for you, and I want to get a reaction, just any reaction, right? So I don't remember why, but me and my girlfriend were talking about that. Are you familiar with? Here, the game The Sims.
Oh, of course,
right?
Yeah.
So The Sims, and as we all know, in The Sims, they do not speak English. They speak a language called Simlish.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And The Sims, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but The Sims are very popular.
Yeah.
People play them. And so they're pretty high selling, and a lot of people buy them. And as a result, you can splurge a little on, maybe like popular song, popular music, right? So like we were talking about like, oh, that Katy Perry song Last Friday Night, but she did like, there's a version of her on YouTube singing it in Simlish, and it's called Last Fruby New. Are you familiar with this?
I have heard that there were covers of songs, like official covers. I have not heard it though.
So it's called Last Fruby New, right?
I'm ready to have my socks blown off.
You know, whatever. And they're doing Simlish, right? But it sounds like fake made up language, and it is. Well, I hate to say it, Kevin, but this is not the only version of a popular song that was converted into Simlish. In fact, there's entire albums of, you know, when some of the Sims games come out and they have popular songs and they convert them into Simlish, there are entire like albums that they release of the soundtrack, right? I suppose. And so we're looking because we want to listen to Last Fruby New. We wanted to like add it to a Spotify playlist.
Oh, and when that comes on in the club,
yeah,
everybody loses it,
right? Or like you're having a party or something like that, and like no one notices that, like, oh, this isn't. What are they saying? Oh, that's funny, you know, sort of thing. And so we're searching Spotify for it, and we can't find it on Spotify. And we're searching like, Sims, whatever, like, you know, Sims soundtrack, Sims whatever. And we find this song, and I don't want to ruin the surprise just yet because we're almost at the surprise.
How long is it going to take?
It's going to take just a little bit longer if you can just bear with me for a second. So, not to ruin it, but there are two versions of this song. Like every other song, there's a radio edited friendly version.
Yeah.
And then there's the original version. And I think we all know a lot of times the original version is the preferable one, right?
Because they swear.
And everyone's like, oh, they bleep out words or whatever. But sometimes the edited version becomes,
don't give a fuck if I cut my arm bleeding.
Right. But sometimes you make a little bit of an edit, a little bit of a twist, and people go, oh, this is better. Why did they do it the original way? This is so much better.
Sure.
That blows up. That becomes the most popular song of all time. Everyone forgets the original version of the song. Well, there is an original version of a song that is in Simlish, and I would like to play it for you.
So they did like a reverse, Simlish to English, is what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
No. So there's two versions of the song. There's the radio hit version, and then there's the original version.
Okay.
And so the original version, not the radio hit version, but the original version has a Simlish cover. You follow?
Yeah.
You dig? And I'm going to play it for you, and you're not going to know what they're saying at first. But when it gets to the chorus, I want you to listen very closely.
Okay.
I want you to listen very closely to the chorus because I'm speechless. I'm legitimately speechless that we found this and we listened to this and that this exists. This is out there. Okay, you ready?
I am ready.
Here we go. I'm playing this in 3, 2. I'd have to do a countdown. 3, 2, 1. So you know this song.
Yeah.
And you know the original version of the song?
The original sounds a little bit different, yeah. Okay, let's see what happens here.
Look at the name. Look at the name.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Listen.
I see what happened here. Yeah.
Everyone forgot. Zoomers don't know. Gen Alpha doesn't know. A lot of people don't know that before Let's Get It Started was a song, people didn't know that it was maybe a little less inclusive.
Yeah, not quite so PC. Sorry, it's not woke.
So not only is that version of the song a time capsule, but it's enshrined in the Sims herbs, Sims in the city.
The herbs.
I don't even want to say, I will not say, I don't want to slip up and say this.
Well, just sound it out slowly.
No.
Okay.
No. We all heard it. Yeah. We all know.
Well, they said it, not us.
So I just wanted to,
as far as I'm concerned,
I just wanted to display that. I need people to know that that's out there.
Oh boy. Speaking of video games, though, speaking of noises you hear from video games, Grant's putting on his sunglasses because he knows he's about to cry because Charles Martinet is no longer the voice of Super Mario anymore, or Luigi, or Wario, or Waluigi, or Baby Mario, or Baby Luigi, or Baby Wario. I don't think there's a Baby Waluigi, but if there was, he would no longer be voicing him. That was good. I like that. The echo will come through beautifully, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Zwick, add more echo.
Wait, hold on. Are you doing the new voice?
I am not.
Are you in Mario Wonder?
Disclose. I've signed NDAs.
Okay,
I can't
for sure.
talk about that.
Well, I guess we'll find out when we play because it's like he's been doing the voice. They said since Super Mario 64, but actually I think it was a little
before
sooner.
That, yeah.
There's like these Mario teaches typing games. I think he was.
Yeah, something like that. Since 1990, I think he's been doing the Mario voice.
Very long time. He's moving on to the role of Mario Ambassador, which I am actually kind of upset to hear about because I actually applied for that job and to find out this way that I didn't get it.
It's a tough economy out there.
Yeah, it's rough.
The job market's just, it's rubbish.
It's so hard to find like a Mario Ambassador job.
Yeah.
Period. But it's like, I had like three interviews for that position. I flew back and forth from here to Tokyo.
Without Charles Martinet, I know that like the Mario games were big and they've always been big.
They're pretty popular. Yeah.
And they have only become more popular. And I think that it's just like one of those properties and entities that is worth a lot in, the culture of capitalism. It costs a lot of money. But like without him doing that voice, I don't think Mario would have been as popular.
I agree. I was watching a video where they were saying that because Mario he did have a voice before him, and obviously there was like the original movie,
right?
There was at the old Super Mario Bros. Super Show,
and then of
Lou
course
Albano.
Like when they do like Japan had their own versions of these sort of things too, so they had like Japanese Mario, but the idea was always like Mario is an Italian plumber from Brooklyn. Apparently Brooklyn.
He's kind of gruff.
And so he does like for a long time they were like, what do Italian people from Brooklyn sound like? They sound disgusting is what they sound like. But he came in and he auditioned for this role and he goes, I'm a Mario. I have a spaghetti. I have a pizza. We take the spaghetti. We put on the pizza. I bring you the pizza spaghetti. And they go, okay, cut. Get out of here. What the fuck? That's not how Italians from Brooklyn sound. And then someone heard it and they heard, this is fucking video games Mickey Mouse right here. And it is. He's like fucking video game Mickey Mouse, but with the mustache, which is a little weird that he's like a 40-year-old guy with a mustache and that he lives with his mom, with his brother, who they live in bunk beds together.
Hey,
but other than
it's
that,
a tough economy,
right.
Don't be too hard on him.
I don't know. I've seen how many coins he collects.
That's a good point. Yeah. Where is the money going?
Maybe gold coins don't really cost. Maybe they don't matter. Maybe it's like he's finding pennies.
Well, he's just like, if I get killed, I can come back to life. If I get 100, it's not so bad. I can't spend it on anything.
Yeah, with 100, he can go get health care.
Yeah.
In the fucking Mushroom Kingdom economy.
It's not too bad, really. But yeah, he's
Hey, it's better than 500,000. Let's be honest.
That's true. I was like, at first I was kind of like surprised because I think like the first thought I had was like, this feels tasteless.
Right.
Like they already had Chris Pratt doing Mario in the movie, and they did still have Charles Martinet playing a couple smaller roles in the movie, which I thought was good.
I almost kind of nearly feel like that was sort of like the writing on the wall of like, he isn't going to be doing this for forever.
Looking back now, yeah.
And again, I don't know. I still like, we talked about it. We reviewed the Mario movie.
Patreon.com/ThoughtCops.
You can listen to it for $2.
One of our best episodes, by the way. Definitely check it out.
And I still think Chris Pratt was kind of a shitty whatever, but you get used to it. It was fine. Whatever. It was fine. I still think like Charles Martinet could have done the Mario voice and just toned it down. They went with a different angle. I think that it worked. I think that it was fine.
He played Mario's dad in the movie, which he basically was like the toned down version of. Yeah. I'm like, okay, when I hear the dad's voice, I'm like, okay, that actually could have kind of worked for a whole movie, but whatever.
I'm so sick of people saying, oh, you don't want to listen to it. And it's like, he's an accomplished voice actor. He could do any other voice for like,
he does
such
other
a
stuff.
bullshit thing to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was in like I didn't see it, but he was in the English dub version of the newest Dragon Ball movie.
He does other jobs. He does other voices. Go figure, he couldn't make a fucking like hour and a half long movie work.
Yeah.
Right?
So when I found out he wasn't doing it, I'm like, cause he's retiring, he's gonna be a Mario ambassador. But I was kind of like, he's 67.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not that old. You know what I mean?
He is of retirement age.
He is, but like, I mean, I'm not saying it's the wrong decision. I guess when I heard that, I'm like, were they pushing him out? You know?
Right.
Because it's not like that old, really. Like, I don't know, like the first person I thought of like as a parallel to this was like Mel Blanc, you know, who did the voice of Bugs Bunny and so many other characters for so long.
Definitely Nintendo's Mel Blanc.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And like, you know, we still have Bugs Bunny, and there have been several iterations since Mel Blanc of Bugs Bunny, but they all generally sound the same. And like, obviously I was like, the first thing I thought of was like, oh God, I hope they're not going to try to get Chris Pratt or like a Chris Pratt like for the games.
Yeah, like just don't fundamentally change Mickey Mouse's voice. You know, you can't like just leave it. I get that they did whatever for the movie, but do not ever do that again. Never.
Unless it's a sequel, which
that's fine, but like I don't want to hear Mario putting on a voice for fucking a game. But don't you ever do that to me.
The good news is we have already heard his newest voice. Do you know that? And it basically sounds like that.
Right. Not too difficult to do.
Yeah. Well, like Super Mario Bros. Yeah, well, you can't say that anymore. But he is getting a new voice in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Which we've already heard.
Yeah. Right?
Mm-hmm. I remember like there was like several like people on YouTube saying like, this isn't him. This is not him. This is not Charles Martinet. I'm like, I know.
Like, cool.
Yes, it is.
You figured it out, but like, this is so uninteresting to me.
I mean, like, I thought at first I'm like, you just needed the new video this week, and this was just perfect clickbait. But no, they were right.
Well, the good thing is you're right and you're wrong. So, but they would have made that video regardless.
That is true. Whatever. But I was and I still am kind of concerned about one outcome, which I don't know how likely it is, because they said that Charles Martinet has stepped away from recording lines as the characters, and he's a Mario ambassador. So he's effectively still Mario for in-person stuff, but not recording lines. However, there is a lot of AI technology nowadays, like they've done it for Darth Vader. They have just a database of all this Darth Vader dialogue because James Earl Jones is getting old. He's in his 90s. He cannot keep being fucking Darth Vader. Right. So instead of recasting Darth Vader, Disney has an AI of like all of the clips and audio.
Right.
Like, and make him say whatever they want, which is, you know.
Yeah, you can't like... Mario, I feel like you can do whatever, but it's like, I don't think I've ever heard anyone do like a good Darth Vader impression. Like I get that. But I mean like James Earl Jones's like vocal range is like 5 octaves below most people.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's like, that would be a tough one. to replace for sure. But I mean, they still could have done it. I mean, hey, they replaced freaking Cleveland on Family Guy pretty easy.
Also easy. I also could have done that.
Well,
hey,
and you shouldn't, Grant.
Well, I did. Well, I shouldn't. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing too that's weird is like James Earl Jones is black, but how come Darth Vader's stark white? You take that helmet off, he's a pale dude.
He's like,
what's going on?
He's like blue, and that doesn't really, you know.
I guess so was Skeeter and Doug.
Yeah.
So,
and people do say that Skeeter is black coated, so actually, it kind of all makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of reluctancy on behalf of children's programming to
just include a black character.
Yeah.
Can he be like they're like, we love Skeeter, but can he be blue instead?
Yeah. We want all the cultural things. Can you please keep? But,
yeah, Doug can be white. But Doug doesn't have to be pink or yellow or red or anything, but he can be white.
I like the fucking thing with like Disney movies and how they're like, hey, are you guys gonna do like a movie that's not about just like white princesses? And they're like, oh yeah, no, totally. The Lion King. And it's like, no, those are animals. And it's like, oh, they're in Africa. No,
yeah,
no, doesn't count. That's not the same thing.
Princess and the Frog movie, but I guess it was.
Well, yeah, and that was
a flop.
Much later.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about the live action one for some reason. I see your point.
No, I meant like
the original.
When the cartoon came out. Yeah,
no,
not
that makes sense.
Yeah, which I mean, yeah.
So we don't know for sure who is doing the Mario voice or if it's going to be AI, because they said that you'll know who's doing the voice when the game comes out and you beat it and you see the credits. That's how you'll know who the new voice of Mario
I'm waiting
is.
for someone to speed run it and then just leak it to X.
Yeah. What a great marketing ploy. Oh, you have to buy the game and beat it to find out who the new voice actor is going to be.
I guess I'm not. You know what?
I was going to anyway. So
I do wish if social media wasn't, or if people used social media, I feel like in a way that like was more communal and everyone's not trying to like ruin things for everyone all the time. I would love like for every single person online to just have sort of like a moratorium on it. And I know that'll never happen, but I would love for everyone to be like, oh, you know who the new Mario voice is? You're just going to have to, you're going to have to play it, guy. You enjoy, but instead everyone's calling everyone else slurs and whatever. And
if only Nintendo would just say who it was and we wouldn't have to deal with all of the slurs and racism and everything else. We'd be living on a effective peace on Earth. So, we already heard the voice. Sounds basically the same. Could be AI. Probably not. It's probably not. Because like Bugs Bunny just got a new voice actor like for the new Space Jam movie.
It was great.
So
Thank you.
I feel like they'll probably have just some other guy doing it.
Yeah.
And even if like I wouldn't like if it was AI, but at the same time, like if they were going to AI a character's voice, like, you just type Wahoo, yippee.
I just don't want it to turn into like this is the way that everything's going.
100%. No, I agree.
Because also it's just like I think that like one of the biggest appeals of Charles Martinet is that like not only is he a good voice actor that has created Nintendo's very own Mickey Mouse, but he's a pretty nice guy, it seems. And I think that like again, like I think the idea of him being like a Mario like ambassador or whatever, I think is good because it is like he just seems like genuine. He likes that people enjoy the games. Like he's not a gamer, but he plays every Mario game. Like that sort of thing where it's just like he really loves what he does and he loves the characters and he always has like a childlike excitement. And you don't get that when you have like a fucking computer doing shit.
Exactly. You know? And like for a character like that in a game, it's all about the fun, the play, it's all so contagious. And a lot of that comes from him just going like, wah-ha! Like just really just like fucking loving what he does. I think that guy loves Mario so fucking much.
And you can tell because I think you pointed this out, Kevin, but like every single Mario Kart game that comes out, his voice is like an octave higher. Like Mario Kart 64, he's like Mario Kart Grand Prix. And in Mario Kart 8, he's like, Mario Kart 8! And it's like, dude, give him a fucking break, man.
I think he's just like choosing
slack.
So it's like, yeah, like you said, he is of retirement age.
He's growing too powerful.
So I really think it is whatever this Mario ambassador job is. I'm like, that's cool. But when I did hear that, I'm like, doesn't that sound like more work than going into a box and recording lines? Oh, you have to also be that and then go out into the world and meet hundreds and hundreds of fans.
I would imagine that doing like voice acting shit, especially for like that level of like every time there's a new Mario game, which is like 3 a year or whatever, like he's probably doing long hours. That's probably exhausting, like vocally, you know, you got to drink some tea, whatever. Like you're doing all these voices. It's probably grating. You have to do multiple takes. Like everything has to be perfect. You're in there for probably hours. It's probably like very taxing, especially for like an old guy, you know?
True. It's like, it's less travel, but yeah, I know it's like, cause I was hearing like, there's so many different sounds, like how he lands, how he jumps a certain way. It all it's so very precise. Right. So yeah, I'm sure.
And yeah, I mean, I think that people probably conceptualize like, oh, you just sit, you just talk. Like, what is it? It's just talking.
It's not that hard. We're doing it right now.
Like, he's using his vocal cords in very specific ways. And a lot of times that shit can probably be like tiring, grating, painful, you know, to be yelling all the time.
Couldn't imagine.
It's bad. Like, you know, like the Simpsons actors, like
fucking
Marge sounds
Julie
awful.
Kavner like sounds like she is on death's door.
Right. Like we don't need a dying Mario.
That would be sad.
Give the voice to a newer, younger, fresher person. Hopefully he's as good of a person as Charles Martinet is.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to get canceled for some weirdo fucking shit.
Speaking of weirdo fucking shit, though, apparently people are mad about masks again. And it is, we're heading into 2024 in just a few short months. And people are saying things like, I will not wear a mask. I will not get the vaccine. And it's like, what year is it?
Well, I don't know if like mandates are possibly coming back or not.
Are they? I mean,
I don't know. And again, that might be like a state by state thing or whatever the fuck. But I know you had this video that you wanted.
Yeah, I haven't seen this yet. I know you were talking about it.
Oh, you haven't seen it? This is
I wanted to share my excitement for this clip.
So this is Andrew WK. No, this is Tim Pool's.
Oh my God, he's a
co-host.
Yeah,
he's the negative Pool. He takes off the beanie. He has hair underneath.
This guy hates partying.
Negative Andrew WK.
Yeah.
I saw Andrew WK. We were watching that one, the VH one. We remember the 90s or whatever the fuck, and Andrew WK was on there, and he made a joke about like how Jared from Subway had to throw out the big pants that he like probably lost his virginity in, and it's like, oh, why does it always have to be like a sex joke about Jared from Subway? Like it's always that where you just go like, oh, no one ever just said something about like his glasses or anything like that. It's like, oh, this guy couldn't even get laid, and it's like, well,
yeah.
Anyway,
it was the yoga mats, by the way. It wasn't. The bread did it to him.
So this is if you guys want to know what another podcast sounds like, this is what they're doing on other podcasts.
That is the recipe to destroy your country, is to shut it down. Don't do that again. And don't make people put fucking dirty masks on. I'm sick of it, man. I'm fucking sick of it. I will not do it again.
Oh my God.
I will not do it again. Like he caught himself. Like what?
What
was that?
I mean, that's kind of how I felt when I was talking about Comcast earlier.
Yeah, well, you're warranted, I guess, and this is costing you money, you know?
Dirty masks. Maybe clean them, perhaps?
Yeah, throw them out. They're disposable. What are you doing?
Yeah, what the hell? Come on, man.
I've been wearing I moved, as you can see, I've moved, and I'll do it again. But I've moved, and I was riding my bicycle to work for a long time because it was the quickest way there. And you get some nice fresh air, and you get hit by cars, and it's great. But I was doing that and I liked it a lot, but now I'm living a little bit further from work and stuff like that. So it's like a lot further to bike, and I don't want to do that. So I've been taking the train more, and I wear a mask on the train like a cuck. And the other day I was sitting across from a guy that wasn't wearing shoes on the train.
Oh, come on, man. I mean, I get the mask, but come on, put some shoes on.
I don't know if he didn't have shoes or if he just didn't want to wear them, because when I got on the train, he was wearing socks, but then he took the socks off. So I'm assuming maybe this guy just didn't want to wear.
Now you're making a choice. At first, I was like, maybe he didn't have any.
It felt choosy to me. It felt less necessary. It felt more choosy. And then after I noticed this, he open mouth sneezed 5 times in a row. And I was like, thank God I'm wearing a fucking mask right now. Like,
if you stayed on the train any longer, you would have ended up like that episode of Seinfeld with Jerry and that guy who's naked.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, he was like that one episode when like the 4 of them were on the train, like, and they're all going different directions on different trains.
I remember the one where Elaine gets off to get like a euro. Was that the same one?
I don't think so. She was like trying to go to like a wedding.
I need to rewatch Seinfeld.
I'm in the middle of a rewatch
Simpsons
right now, repping the gear right now. Anyway, yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it was awful.
So
yeah, I don't give a shit about the masks. Throw them out if they're dirty. Replace them.
Do you think this guy records barefoot?
Yes.
He's like, I'm not wearing a mask, and I'm also not wearing fucking socks.
Well, wait, let me pull up, because actually there was some good back and forth on this post. So whatever, Myth Informed is the X account name. Let me see, because there was some good back and forth where people are like, someone said, why are the masks dirty? And this guy says masks are by definition dirty. They get gross as the day goes on. No more masks. And then someone else responds, you can change them as the day goes on. They're not expensive. And then the account says, will, all caps, not, period, comply, period. So there, I don't know what to say about this. You've made up your mind at this point. Like,
this man is out of ideas.
Yeah.
It's not just him though. I've seen a few other people like within the last like couple weeks, which is like, I don't know, maybe there is some mandate or something. I haven't heard anything about.
I think COVID numbers are going up and people are just wearing them more.
I could see that. Because I feel like I've been seeing a lot more people on X. I'm not going to call it that. Whatever, at Twitter, posting, they're tweeting
right
about, I will not wear a mask. You cannot control me.
Is this like a conspiracy thing of just like, we're not looped into like whatever QAnon bullshit of
it's
like,
possible, yeah.
That like people are like, hey, they're coming back, and there's like no evidence. There might be. I have no fucking idea.
Don't get me wrong. I fucking hate wearing a mask too. It sucks. If I have to, I will. But like, I'm not like looking at it from the same way of like they are trying to like use my body like a puppet or some weird.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many like it reminds me of like there's microchips and the vaccine sort of level of shit where it's just like, dude, if you carry a phone in your pocket all day, they know everything that you're doing, and they don't need to chip you. And also the same fucking microchip people are also like Elon Musk stans who is actively trying to microchip people's brains, and people just go, yeah, but he's based. So like, it's so fucking stupid. And I think that the whole point is just to like get me to yell about it. And I am. So now what? Now what's your end game? Huh? You win.
Well, now they don't know.
Someone's going to clip this show and be like, look at this lunatic.
I think like, I don't know if I heard it in this clip, but like I saw if maybe it was a different version, but like somebody posted it in the Discord, and I did see the end of it because like I think it was Slime who said something like he has his own stav, or there's supposed to be like a guy who's like, hell yeah, dude.
Oh, that's Tim Pool.
Oh, that was okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
He's just there offering support, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know either.
This is not, all I know is like this is not partying. I don't know what happened to you, man. Andrew WK, you've been off the internet for a while now. I haven't seen him. He sort of deleted all of his Twitter.
Oh, did he really?
His Instagram. He's been gone for a couple of years.
Honestly, good. I wish that I feel like there's been like maybe a little more of a trend lately of people that are famous that do have public facing profiles that they're not using them so much anymore.
Like in a way, like I think that's kind of the goal is like
honestly, I would love to get to the point.
Yeah, like I don't have to be on here fucking like tweeting at you pigs, and also no one's reading my shit as it is. Right. But like if I got successful enough, I wouldn't have to try.
I would love to just like make things for a living, and then when people are like blah, 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 you just make some more shit, and you just you figure this out. Like, I don't give a shit.
A lot of like successful.
You don't need to hear my takes.
Yeah, like there's a lot of successful YouTubers and stuff who I follow on Twitter, but they barely ever post.
Right.
It's just, you follow them because I like what they do. That would be so amazing. That would be so amazing.
I mean, at this point, I just use Twitter as like a fucking like to promote the show, and I'm sure that gets. Yeah,
I feel like bad.
People
feel like
probably whatever. But
I know.
Also, it's just like, yeah, this is what I want to use my space for. So
I know. I think people don't like. I lose followers when I do nothing but like promote my stuff. Whatever, man.
I don't care about the fucking followers on here. I care about the followers of the podcast, that people like listen to it and like see that we're like doing something and creating something and spending time trying to do things and not just fucking like shitting out like, oh, what's my hot take? You know what I'm sick of? You know what my 2 minutes of hate is? Takes.
Yeah, I'm sick of them. Don't fucking need any more takes.
Don't take me anywhere.
Yeah. Take me out to the ball game.
Yeah.
That'd be
if
that could be
fucking
fun.
Lucky. Yeah. Go to a fucking Cubs game.
Yeah.
Watch them lose. Leave early.
Are you going to go to the Cubs games now that you're closer?
Maybe.
Be kind of fun.
If I can get like cheap tickets, like whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's the only, I'm not paying a lot of money I don't care.
I haven't been to a baseball game in a long time. I don't even really keep up with sports or baseball, but like there's something about going to a baseball game that is kind of fun.
Someone got shot at the Sox game the other day.
I guess I'll stay home.
It's super weird. Not to laugh at people that get, I guess, I don't know what the fuck happened because I was reading about this. A couple people or someone got shot, but police don't know whether or not it was a gun that was inside the stadium or outside the stadium, which in and of itself is super weird because you would figure like forensics could kind of figure that out. I don't know if I'm using forensics correctly or whatever. Like the angle of the trajectory of like where the fuck do you get hit? And apparently there was like a Vanilla Ice concert afterwards, and like the people in the stands that watched someone or multiple someone get shot, they all just sort of like hung around for this like, I guess, Vanilla Ice concert after the Sox game. And then they canceled the concert because they're like, we can't do a concert. Someone just got shot.
Jesus Christ.
Also, it's like they have metal detectors. So like, how would someone have gotten something in?
They just shot really high over the stands and the bullet went over and fell.
I mean, that does happen. That's why they say don't like fire a gun off into the air, because it goes up, but also it comes back. Like it doesn't just go up and then stay there. It does come back down.
That is so bizarre.
Sometimes,
why would somebody do that?
Sometimes it like you can die from like a bullet falls from the earth.
Was that a Cubs fan? He's like, fuck the Sox. And he just like shot it up.
Could you imagine what kind of aim? That would be like an anime character. Like,
yeah.
Like,
Well, he's like, I hope this hits somebody. But what if it hit his target? Or maybe like the guy was like trying to catch it too. He's like running after the bullet. He's like, oh, it's in the stands.
I don't think it was a player.
No, like the guy saw the bullet. Like a player saw the bullet coming is what I'm saying. And he just like, whoa, he's got his mid up. He's trying to catch it. And then fucking Steve Bartman catches the bullet.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Damn it, Steve. Again?
Did you see that Trump mugshot?
Yeah, I was just going to pull it up here.
Yeah.
There it is.
What do you think about this picture?
Whatever. It looks right. It looks like what I would think that a Trump mugshot would look like. Yeah. I did like all the fake ones. Like before it came out, before this specific one came out, there were a lot of like AI generated ones, and some of them were very convincing. And you were just seeing them like coming from everywhere, like all angles of the internet were just like, here it is.
They really let him like pose. Like he's kind of slaying in this picture. He looks like a DreamWorks character with that raised eyebrow.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never gotten a mugshot taken, so I don't know. Like if they're like, okay, hey, don't smile or smile, you know, whatever.
I don't think you're supposed to smile, but also like maybe they could.
I mean, they do sometimes. James Brown smiled.
Could they not have at least told him like maybe stand up straight? Like he's hunched over.
I think
like,
James Brown smiled.
Well, okay, maybe so, but Trump is not smiling here, but they did let him like hunch over quite a bit, you know?
I guess. I think he's just old.
Mm. Yeah, he's really, I don't know. Yeah, because like all the AI stuff kind of...
Yeah, he's smiling here. Let's pull this up here. No, I got this over here.
Okay,
so that you can, yeah. This is good, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, again, it would have been, hey, Trump, how about a smile, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, Toots.
Yeah.
Give us a smile. So yeah, no, he's just, and yeah, it's also like he's got his full suit on, suit jacket, tie, everything.
I think that's just painted onto his body at this point. I think he just always wears that.
Yeah, because all the AI ones are like made him look like he was wearing like a fucking like
like a jumpsuit.
Yeah, he has like one of those like caps. Like no one's falling for this. It's not like 1930.
He's wearing like this striped.
Yeah. There's like the ball and chain tied to his like ankle.
That would have been so
like saw that like
cool.
Damn, I guess he really did go to prison.
Damn, I didn't know they still did the ball and chain thing. Yeah, I don't know. That's what he looks like, and he looks angry to be arrested.
He's owning it though, you know.
Oh, let me find there's been a number of Where is
getting a nice look at your notifications here?
Yeah. There's been a number of takes on this. Should I even read this? Do I even want to read this? Fuck it. I don't care. I don't care. New me, new season 2, new show, whatever. I don't care.
I did see like a friend of the show, Nico, posted something on Twitter, which I agreed with, was that while the mugshot itself is kind of funny, the memes and everything to come after that have been kind of disappointing. Like,
yeah, the only one that I liked was Bugmain edited those stupid glasses.
the visor thing.
Yes.
Yeah. That
was the only thing, because that's like a personal specific like not everyone will get that joke, but he just does that to like he just edits that onto everyone, and that's very funny to me. But it's only because nobody else gets that. Like it's like, ooh, this is a joke for me.
Everything else kind of feels like it just kind of goes to show you it's like we got a fucking mugshot of Trump, and like we can't even like do anything really that funny with it because we're just like, I think everybody like sees the puppet strings. They see the numbers in the Matrix now. They're like, I listened to enough Thought Cops to know and see how predictable all of this is. And
it is. It's getting predictable.
They added the handsome filter to him. They added the smile filter to him. Looks like he's smiling.
Right. Yeah.
They Photoshop him to look like he's somewhere else. It's like this is not that funny to me.
Yeah, like we all have this app on our phone by now, and it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing because I didn't like it then. I don't like it now, and I'm glad that people are starting to catch on. But she mentioned something else where she said the memes from when we thought he got COVID were much funnier.
Yeah.
Which I totally agree. That was like one of the best weeks of Twitter. Was like that famous quote that he said was like, "Am I gonna go out like Stan Chera?" You remember that?
I don't remember.
Where like he had like, I don't know who Stan Chera is, but like I guess it was somebody he knew who died or almost died or something. And there was this quote circulating where he thought he was going to die for a little bit. And he said, "Am I going to go out like Stan Chera?"
I do remember that. Yeah. I remember that now.
All the memes around that, because it was so like specific and so crazy to think is the president going to die? Because COVID wasn't like as, we didn't all have it by then.
Right.
And he was like, he got it. And it was such a fucking huge watershed moment. And all those remember the press conferences, like all the doctors, like there's like 20 doctors on the stairs, like updating us on his condition. It was so bizarre.
I will say, I also do think that, and again, this podcast started at the inception of the Trump presidency.
Yeah.
And so we've covered like basically, I do feel like during the Trump presidency and post Trump are so like, I don't think people realize. I think that there's a lot of people that obviously still don't realize that he's not president anymore. But also, like, there's like this general sense.
It was fixed, obviously. So he technically is.
Yeah, but there's this general sense of like that people feel like it's still the same, but it's so totally not. And we don't get the same from him and from it in the same way that, I know that there's like a lot of people, even like within like leftist circles or whatever the fuck where they're like, they do this sort of like ironic, but not really ironic, but kind of ironic, but semi-serious thing of like cheering on Trump because especially like in comparison to like Ron DeSantis, they're like, oh, this guy's a fucking like stick in the mud, like whatever.
At least he's like, a good poster.
Oh, we are so back, dude. We are so back. He's tweeting again. We are back. And it's just like, dude, shut up. Like,
it's weird. It's desperate.
So fucking, it's annoying, and
I fucking hate the world. I was gonna say I fucking hate Twitter, but I'm like, no, I fuck everything.
Yeah, and the whole thing of like the one thing you got to say, and we've probably dabbled in this a little bit, and I guess I agree to it. I agree with it to a certain extent, but not to the extent that some people really try to fucking push it. Is when people are like, the one thing you got to say, Trump was funny, man. He was funny. And it's like, yeah, kind of, but because he's like an insane person. Like, he's not funny on purpose. And I think he sort of like knows that, and he maybe plays it up a little bit, but like his brain is rotting. And like, there's just this sense of like, he talks weird, and like his like trail of thought like kind of has dilapidated. And when he would say certain things in certain ways, and when he would tweet certain things, you would sort of see it for what it was and then be like, holy shit, like what the fuck. But then there would be these people that think that like it's some form of like artistry, like that at the same time that they're like, oh, that like at the same time that these people that are vehemently calling him fascist the most are also like, but you gotta hand it to him. And it's just like this weird disconnect of just like, what is this? What are you doing? Like, it always fucking like bothered me, like whatever people were trying to do with that, to just like, I don't know what that was.
It was funny when he wasn't in a position of power, when he was like the guy from The Apprentice who had like, was talking about like how you never see a thin person drinking Diet Coke.
Like that type of shit. Yeah.
That was funny. On accident. I think kind of on accident, kind of not on accident. Like, he's a little bit aware. Whatever.
He was like playing up to a certain thing, but there was like a level to it that was just so out of pocket.
People liked how catty he was.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, that's why people liked him. But there was that like level of just like, I think specifically like people in like prominent people within leftist circles, they were just like, we are back, dude. Like that always just like, what is this? What do you do? Like, this
I think I'm done with that whole kind of thing.
Yeah.
Leftism. No, I'm just kidding. I think I'm done with like the hecking epic leftist poster people.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's just miserable.
Like it is. I do feel like the fucking healthcare please Wojak. Like I don't care about like,
I don't
the
need to
fucking
be
cultural shit and like the fucking
when's the next Switch coming out? That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Like I care about like
kidding.
the topics and I care about the issues, but this whole thing of like how do I present shit is like I feel like I just care less and less, and I know that that's not how like the world works. Because like here's the thing, like clickbait works, and like you got to do things to like get people on your side and whatever, and I get that to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But there's also an extent where it's like it feels like that's the only thing, and like how you identify online so that people know if you're a cool person or not is like feels devoid of like everything, and it's just like I feel like people need to be doing more and like just saying less. Like I don't
less.
Know. Yeah, say less and give us a fucking smile for once. God damn.
Come on. Hey, give me a smile, pretty girl. Trump.
Yeah.
Come on, baby.
Trump, my favorite waifu.
That's if I was behind the camera taking that mugshot. Come on.
If my favorite anime was Donald Trump's presidency, bring that back.
Donald Trump is, I don't know, he's a manga character. Do you know that?
Yeah, we talked about it, I think.
The Death Note thing?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We covered that. Yeah.
Unreal.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he was also in whatever. He's in popular media. We don't need to rehash that, but
yeah, I just feel like the culmination where I was going with that is just like, yeah, I don't know. Ever since like post-election, it's like you don't even hear that much from him, and every time you do, it's just like, they did steal the election, and it's like, yeah, this is kind of old news.
He's kind of
tired.
Needs new material.
He needs new material. I mean, to be fair, it was funny when he said, "I did everything right, and they indicted me."
I mean, his pattern of speech is so funny.
It is funny. I will say though, I will say, what's his name? James Austin Johnson.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who did a really good, so good of a Trump impression that he's now on SNL because of it, and probably because of other things. He seems funny and talented and everything. But I will say, I kind of think he ruined the Trump impression, because now every time anyone does a Trump impression, they're just doing his impression.
I was just going to say that nobody had a good one until him.
No one had a good one until him, but once he figured it out, everyone was just like, "Oh, I'm just ripping off him." And
everybody else was like, all they would say was like huge and China.
Yeah.
And it was like nobody could fully capture his cadence, and then he did it. And it was like he had to. The key was like doing the perfect cadence, but talking about something Trump would never talk about, like Scooby-Doo,
which was funny.
Yeah.
Then, like, in the way that was like, it was funny because it was like an authentic, like, wow, this is nuts. And he's good at it, because the only other model we had for that type of thing was like
fucking Alec
Baldwin. And it wasn't like as good. It was Alec Baldwin doing Trump doing Alec Baldwin, that sort of like, whatever. And it was like, he was good at it. But now it's like, I'll be scrolling TikTok and I'll see like 4 or 5 different people going, Garfield, and it's like, man,
let it go.
You just sound just like it's not.
Get your own fucking bits.
You milked it for all it was worth, and now it's not fucking worth anything anymore.
Yeah, it's always like, it's interesting to see how we, like, when we go from president to president, and where it's like, who will perfect the impression of that president? Like, because like it took a little while for there to be a really good Obama,
right?
And like, I don't know if it was SNL who got it down right, but like after a while it was like, because he just seemed like such a normal ass guy when he was like first in office, and then after a while I was like, let me be clear.
Yeah, it's always let me be clear.
Yeah, very specific to like what he was. And then of course like Bush, Clinton. I mean, Bush Senior. You guys know the presidents, right?
I will say, like, again, watching VH1's We Love the 90s or whatever, or We Love the 2000s, We Love the 00s, whatever. Yeah. There was like, because you can just watch it on YouTube, because apparently it's not on any other streaming service, but you can find old episodes on YouTube.
I love that when like the copyright is like, oh, like, why is it not on Netflix? Like, I can watch all of Mission Hill on YouTube for free.
Right. But there was like after one of the segments where they were like making fun of George Bush, there was of course like the George Bush impersonator, and it was like, I forgot that there were hundreds of these people.
Oh my
There were millions of people pretending to be George Bush. It was a frugal lifestyle to be a George Bush impersonator.
I think that might have been the most annoying one, to be honest.
I think, yeah.
Just like nuclear. Get it? He says it wrong.
Oh, that was Homer Simpson.
He's dumb, okay? He's a fucking moron.
But yeah, because they would all like dress up like him and sort of do like this like clown show makeup sort of, you know, ordeal.
The big ears.
Yeah, the big ears. And then if you've seen that Primus video where they're like dressed like plastic cowboys, they would do like that sort of like overdo the makeup so much. And it's
you don't
just
have to go that far with it.
He doesn't look like that. He never looked like that. And it just, they really Flanderized him. And it, just got to that level of just like, man, just fucking, I don't know, man.
You know what? That's going to be our word of the week, by the way. I'm about to look it up because I've been hearing Flanderization. I've been hearing that come up so much recently. I don't know why.
What context have you been hearing it?
That one YouTuber talking about how Family Guy's bad now.
Okay, yeah, sure.
We haven't done word of the week. Here we go. Flanderization is a process through which complex fictional characters' essential traits are oversimplified to being their entire personality, or at least exaggerated while other traits remain over the course of a serial work. Now, I don't know if this is because of Ned Flanders.
I think it was because of Ned Flanders, because I think the first couple seasons of The Simpsons, Flanders was supposed to be like sort of like the well-meaning neighbor who's like, he's a little bit Christian-y, but he's just sort of like, Homer just hated him for no reason. Like he would be like, hey, Homer, you want to, do you need help mowing your lawn? And he'd be like, Flanders. Like he would just hate him for no reason. And then over time, as they develop the character more and more, it's like, oh, he does talk weird. They're really playing up how weird he talks. Mm-hmm. And he just like, oh, he's not just Christian, but he's like fundamental Christian, and he's a fucking insane like they just kept tossing more and more and more and more on to the point where he's like, yeah, he's now you've made him cartoonish.
There's a pretty good graphic here. I'll just have Zwick put this on the screen. I'll send it to him later. That kind of demonstrates this. I mean, this happens with a lot of sitcom characters in general, but whatever. Yeah. Moving on to something maybe a little more serious. I got a key to the city this week. Feels weird to even phrase it that way, but I'll just say rest in peace to a friend of the show, Crip Daddy, Young Crip, Donovan Castillo. He's been on the show, I think it was like 2 or 3 times, and he passed away this past week as of recording this. And yeah, he was he's one of the most ambitious people I feel like we knew. And I think that despite, his limitations, he did so much with, what he could.
Yeah.
And I really, really wanted to meet him. We were very close.
We were like planning it for a while too. And like,
because he wasn't really that far. He was in Rockford, and we were going to go to his stand-up show, and then the fucking lockdown, COVID happened.
Lockdown happened, and then I remember we were talking about like the bus thing and whatever. I know, and there was like a whole thing with that, and like that would have been cool too. And like, I don't know. I mean, I think the one thing that I can say about like doing this show in general, no matter like how big it gets, no matter how small it is, no matter like whatever, is it's cool that like there is recording of us chilling and having a conversation with someone that was like that. And like, it's cool that that's just something that we have now, and that exists on the internet forever, or until someone buys YouTube and then tanks the website, and then all of a sudden everything from before 2014 just no longer exists somehow. Oops, how did that happen?
Yeah.
But it's cool that like we have that, and like, there is that level, like I feel like of like connection with this, because it's like you do like, there's so many people on the fucking internet, there's so many people inside of your phone, And sometimes, you know, the ability to interact with some people that are, you know, like talented and shit like that. Like the idea that, like, you know, we didn't get to meet him, but like we got to like interview him and interact with him and joke around and like have a good time and be lighthearted and shit like that. The fact that that exists and that that's there, I feel like is like impact, like that is part of the reason why I like doing this, among other things, you know, is like to be able to do that, because it's like, I don't know, you know, like the internet affords us this ability to communicate with people across like however far of distance or like whatever backgrounds and shit like that. And I like that aspect about the internet way more than I like any other aspect, you know, like,
yeah.
I feel like we can be sort of doomery and downery about the internet at all times, but it's like the reason why we are is because there's good redeemable aspects to it. And
yeah, it can
there's
be,
like,
yeah.
you know,
it can be. And like, and I want to say like, and this sounds kind of silly, but like, I don't know if anybody out here can relate to this, but like sometimes if you have somebody that follows you and like you put something out on Twitter or Instagram or something, and then like when you get a like from someone, like a certain person, you're kind of like, well, that's good. That feels kind of good. Like obviously it's like I appreciate the support from anybody, but there's like certain people you're like, oh, okay, cool. That person thought this was funny.
Because I think highly of this person, the fact that they like see something in what I'm doing.
And Donovan was one of those people for me, because I remember there was like a few specific things I remember posting, and I remember him liking them, and I remember thinking like, oh, I guess this was funny.
Right.
I guess this was worthwhile to put on the internet,
right.
You know? And I think like, yeah, he was one of those people. And like I said, you know, very upbeat, inspiring.
I liked the videos that he would make with his mom, where he was just telling his mom about like weird shit on the internet and like just her reactions and shit.
Gold. Internet gold. And like just that, God, what was that one fucking video where he just goes like, okay, listen, bitch. And just like the fucking like pacing of like how he says that. It was just like so funny. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad. I hope that those are still out there. I know his accounts, some of his like older accounts got nuked.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're re-uploaded somewhere. So if you're listening to this, you know, maybe check out one of his videos or some of his great bits from over the years, and just
like I think, you know, more to your point of like how he was able to do like however much with however much time sort of thing. It's like, yeah, man, like he got to like he got to do stand up and open for like Doug Stanhope, which is like really fucking cool. Him and Adam Gilbert, who was also on the show, like got to open for Doug Stanhope, which is fucking awesome. And it's just like, you know.
And he was just like on stage at the Gathering of the Juggalos like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, shit. I fucking forgot about that, because I saw a video of the like someone did like a whatever, like a documentary or like a video going to Gathering of the Juggalos, interviewing people, and he popped up on the screen, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, I think like he knew who he was, he knew what he wanted, he knew what he wanted to do and what he wanted to accomplish, and I think that he really fucking set out and did so much of that, you know, and that's just amazing.
Right. And again, I think
a lot more ambitious than me.
And I think that like, again, I think that a lot of that just boils down to like authenticity and sort of, you know, and I feel like we talk about that a lot on this show, that it is like, I don't know, I want to be funny and I want to be like all these things and whatever, but at the baseline of it, I at least want there to be some like reflection of reality and like whatever it is I'm doing and like how I'm feeling and like what I want to talk about and shit like that. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, he did pretty much exactly that. And, you know, like, you know, I remember like there's a video of him like on stage doing comedy, and like I think he opened his set by saying like, I used my Make-A-Wish to come here. And it's just like, it's so fucking like,
yeah,
you know, to have that in spite of like, you know, any level of difficulty or whatever is just like, yeah, I don't know. That's cool. It's less a feeling, I feel like, of sadness for me, because it's like, this is like, you know, what you would hope people get out of life in any sort of way, you know?
Yes. And I think like it just goes to show like, how important having a sense of humor about yourself is, and just, whatever, everybody has their restrictions and limitations in life, but, and obviously they can be challenging and they can be upsetting, but if you can like turn that into something positive, like Donovan did, I think that's amazing.
Yep.
So, it was upsetting to see, but he did very much.
Yep. I got nothing else.
Yeah, let's pivot to some voicemails. We got some voicemails.
We have that.
312-788-7361, or you can send us an audio file to thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. We're also taking, if you want to send us an email with a question, concern, anything like that.
Yeah, write us a letter. Write us a finely worded email.
Give us a Dear John. We'll read it on the air. Or you know what? We could just use the Discord server too. If you're in our Discord server, which if you're not, you should be. The link to our server is in every single episode description. I think anything in the Thought Cops channel we can address on the show. Which, you know what? I guess I might as well read it. I'm going to read one
sure, if you want,
one thing from the server, because let's get this going. I think people have a lot to say. But yeah, I think the last episode, some people were like, I saw some people were upset by Max's opinion on anime.
Oh yeah.
I think a couple people on YouTube mentioned it too. You know what? Just one guy's opinion. You don't have to agree.
Well, and then I saw Max did comment on our video with him.
Oh, I missed
and
that.
He said, I'm not racist, I think.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure
I must have missed the
said
accusation.
I don't know if there was an accusation. Let me pull it up.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Like
literally,
like a professional.
It just says, I'm not racist with 100 question marks. Nobody in these comments, there's only like 3 other comments.
And a taco emoji?
Is the taco emoji the reason why?
I don't know.
Why did he put the taco emoji?
I mean, I guess it's like maybe he just says that on anything he's on, where he's like, just in case anybody takes anything out of context, there it is. I'm not racist.
Hey, that's, in today's economy,
Priceless.
It's
really priceless. But yeah, I think like it spurred an interesting conversation. While I may not fully agree myself, I thought it was fun, and I wanted to just dig into his mindset because, I played his game. I was curious to see what exactly was going through his head when he made it. So,
well, it was cool in the chat with a K, right? That said the thing about anime and about like, how it's like probably specifically shown in anime, which it was. That is like it was, or it
no, it was because I mentioned Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, we talked about a couple other things. So. But yeah, I mean that's also like the most poppy. It's whatever. It is what it is. But I got the spirit of what he was saying, and I do agree with it to like an extent. Sort of, like there is a reason why I'm not as into it, but I'm not into it. I just have to. I'm just like picky. I'm picky with fucking everything.
It's not for everybody, okay? And your hobby doesn't have to be liked by everybody else too. So
but there's also some good shit out there. So expose yourself to it. And speaking of exposing, should we get to this voicemail?
Yeah.
All right.
Hello. This is Andrew WK.
There he is.
And you're partying hard with the Thought Cops.
I was just thinking about that moment recently because I met Andrew WK like 5 years ago at a record signing at Reckless Records in Wicker Park, and he was super nice. I waited in line. I even fucking I did like 3 stupid takes of that video with him, and he was like, "Oh, is that good? Oh, you want to do another?" And like, okay, and we did like 3, and like just to make sure, just for like some stupid, because I think that was like in the early days of Thought Cops. I just was like, I was throwing everything at the wall to see what stuck. And
stuck is the correct past participle.
Is it really?
No.
Okay, I was like,
not at all. Not even a little.
No.
I don't even know if past participle is the right word.
Not even a word at all. I don't think. But no, he was super nice. Recorded this clip, and I remember thinking like, we can use this on a whole bunch of episodes as a little promo. I think we used it a grand total of maybe twice.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to milk it, but we could also just throw it at the beginning of this episode.
We should.
Fuck it.
Zwick. You put that in.
Get to work.
Yeah, we'll find it for you. Don't go. I have it saved in my phone in my favorites. I watch it every night.
I love that any new subscribers might just be like, "Who the fuck is that? A person you're referring to?
They'll pick
is that
it up.
Your cat? Yeah. Zwick? What's Zwick?
Listen to enough episodes and you'll figure it out.
Yeah, because when we were watching We Love the OOs on VH1 and Andrew WK came on the screen, I was like, oh, he did a Thought Cops promo once. And my girlfriend was like, I don't know who that is. So
I mean, he's not like, again, he sort of disappeared from the public eye.
Right.
I fucking love Andrew WK.
He's married to Kat Dennings.
I know. Yeah. He is also amazing performer. I saw him live once. Awesome. And yeah, I love, like, speaking, like we were talking about Charles Martinet being a source of like positivity earlier. Andrew WK is just the same. He's so fucking like, sincere and like, just, I don't know. He's great.
You know, I've been getting this feeling more and more, and I don't know why. And I'm definitely not a positive person, but I feel like when the world lost Mr. Rogers, we fucked up. I feel like,
when was that?
It was like, I don't know, 2003 maybe. It was like in the early to mid 2000s, I want to say. I feel like we fucked up, and anybody that's even a little bit like that, I'm like, they gotta be everywhere. We gotta have more people like that are just like,
less people like us.
Well, and there's worse people than us. Yeah, you know,
you could do a whole lot worse. Okay.
There's a George Carlin quote about how every cynic is like a disappointed optimist, but then there's also people that are Nazis. I don't know if you know that, but there's Nazis again.
Yeah, I've seen a few.
And so like there's just that, like, I get that feeling of just like anytime I see anything from Mr. Rogers, it's just like, oh, we don't have this anymore. I like get in a panicked state of like, we don't have a Mr. Rogers. Like what do we do? What does society do that we don't have Mr. Rogers anymore? Like we're fucked. We're fucked. That's why I see the thing with Charles Martinet, and I'm just like, I'm glad that he's here. I'm glad that whatever, you know, I'm glad that there's Andrew WKs out there and that there are people that are like positive, but also not shitty, because a lot of positive people are also pretty shitty sometimes.
There is such a thing, a very real phenomenon known as toxic positivity.
Yeah.
And it sucks. They should reboot Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood with Andrew WK.
Yeah. Or some, but like,
get him, like, don't cut his hair or anything. Just have him wear the suit. Play with the little toys in the train set. And
I'm not talking about Neil deGrasse Tyson, okay?
Oh,
we don't need more Neil deGrasse.
No, less of that. Science is such a buzzkill.
Right.
Anyway.
Speaking of buzzkills, let's play this next voicemail.
Hey, folks. I realized that in voicemail things, you're like, hey, don't leave a voicemail over a minute long. I think every time I've called in, it's been at least a 10-minute voicemail, so I'm going to keep it under a minute. Now,
appreciate it.
I am very upset the voice of Mario
already
no longer being Charles Martinet or Bob Hoskins or Asterios or Captain Lou Albano. I don't care for this at all. And I need you all to do something with your authority to fix this somehow. Like, get Nintendo to untweet what they did. I'm pretty sure that the entire reason why we pay our tax dollars to establish the... Wait, shit, this is way longer than a minute. Fuck! It was Shadowworks, in case you didn't know. Fuck, shit.
Hello, Shadowworks.
Are you still...
Okay.
He's dialing out?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't have much authority.
This is Bojack, by the way. I'm a horseman. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, the only authority I have is I am a contributor to Nintendo Life, so I don't really carry a lot of weight for who is going to be the new Mario or what that entails. But for my platform here, our platform, we can say, whoever it is. I mean,
it should be me.
It should be you.
I got the.
It could have been Asterios.
I got the So Long Gay Bowser.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't even ask me. So.
You know what I was talking about the other day is like, what do you think he was really saying in that clip? He's not saying so long, gay Bowser. I've
heard people say he's saying so long, King Bowser.
I could see that.
Or it's just because of his thick Brooklyn accent that he was saying, "So long, Bowser."
That's what I always thought.
It just sounds like there's the extra.
So long, guy.
There's the extra vowel, and people are like, "That's not how to say so long, Bowser."
Yeah, and that was like his first like big Mario role, so he's still kind of figuring out
right and
who and what this guy is.
Also, like all the N64 shit is like super compressed too.
Also
so it's like you don't just get "so long, Bowser," you get "so long, Bowser." That's like what it sounds like, and you're like, oh, that sounds like words. But you hear the little thing, and you're like, oh, this sounds all right.
Speaking of like compression, did you ever play the Super Mario Advance games?
I don't think so.
They took like the Mario All-Stars games and like Mario Bros 2, Mario World, Mario Bros 3, and I put them on like Game Boy Advance cartridges with like a bunch of extra shit. But like the characters, like, because obviously Mario didn't talk in those old ones.
Right.
They added all the voices to that one, and I remember that was like such a divisive thing at the time because it was like you don't have to hear him go like, "Just what I needed," like every time you get an item, and it was like so compressed through those little like GBA speakers.
Right.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, they were doing what they could with whatever, and at least they updated them a little more, I guess, whatever.
It was kind of an interesting time. I remember like the Link to the Past Game Boy Advance game, they also gave Link that
Yeah. Which, whatever. The old games still exist, I guess.
Yeah.
It bothers me when it's like you have no access to the old games, which I do like about when they have like the Switch Online shit and you can play old shit. But when it's just like, oh, this doesn't exist anymore, but here's the new version. We dubbed everything over. It's like,
Yeah, you got options.
Give me some options.
But yeah, Charles Martinet, I think he'll be all right. I would love to meet him. You know what? That's my goal. Now that he's like an ambassador, he's going to be doing traveling and stuff. I would love to meet him.
Hey, come on, Thought Cops.
That would be so cool. I mean, that is a, no pun intended, pipe dream. But like, can you imagine? Can you imagine if we got him on the show? I would just be sitting there smiling as he's like, "Can you just do the voice again?" I really don't want to do it anymore.
He's tired. He's old.
Yeah. Come on, one more time. Anyway, I think that was it, right?
Yeah, that's
voicemails. 312-788-7361 or thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com, or hang out in the Discord server, talk to us, let us know what's up. I guess that just about does it. Oh, patreon.com/thoughtcops.
Yeah, I think
check that out.
It's by Beetlejuice rules, I think Patreon has to show up in the room with us because that's the third time mentioning it. So, all right, take care. See you later.
See you on the other side.